Your limitations are the ones that you put on yourself. My climbing has improved so much that might be actually a good thing if you don't see my face. Huh, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to stage 4 of the Tour de Zwift 2024. And yes, you heard that right. Even though Tour de Zwift 2024 is now technically over, this is a makeup week. Makeup week during which you can make up for any stage and any race you might have missed. And for me, that is the France stage. I missed that one because instead of doing the France race, I accidentally did the Innsbruck race. So I'm making up for it right now. We are doing the Petit Boucle. As always, if you're riding, good luck. If you like what you see, subscribe. And thank you for joining me on this journey. Petit Boucle. Oh, we've got a pro riding with us. I don't know who that is, but it's Picot. Don't know that guy. This race is going to be very special for me because during this ride I will finally get my Tron bike. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, I will get my Tron bike. In the last days, I did several efforts to farm the vertical meters, and I should be missing 400 vertical meters, but hopefully nothing goes wrong because I want it to be on camera. In the first part of the race, I'm actually going to go a little slower because I want to talk a little bit. And after that, if I feel good, I will push up the pace again and start racing as usual. So, leading completed. Here starts the Petit Boucle course. It's basically going twice around the whole France map, and you do it once in each direction. But let's get into the matter at hand. I want to talk about why I think I can reach A category and why I created this channel. I started cycling, at least seriously, in August 2023 on Zwift. But before that, I was a pretty competitive runner. I was doing endurance races, mainly focusing on half marathons and marathons. I did my last race in May 2023. It was the Prague Marathon, and I ran it in about 3 hours and 14 minutes, which is pretty decent time. It's nowhere near elite time, but just so you know, average time for a marathon race is around 4 hours, something like that. And about 7 years before that race, I started running. So I was running for 7 years in total. The funny thing is, before I started running, I was a completely different person. I was overweight. I drank way too much alcohol. And I was unbelievably unfit. And I kid you not, when I was to walk up one flight of stairs, I was already hitting my maximum heart rate. It was crazy how I was unfit. And so I started running, at the time mainly to lose weight, and it took me 4 months before I was able to run around the athletic track once. Up until that point, I was doing this run-walk training program. And one thing you should know about me is no matter what I'm doing, I cannot do anything quote unquote just for fun. I need to compete. I need to get better. And so when I first sort of started being able to run in one go, I was so excited that I immediately signed up for a race. And it was a 10K race, and it was to take place in about 6 months. And I was training for that race, but it wasn't like crazy specific preparation. But I ran that race, 10K race, in 47 minutes, which isn't really bad. But considering 1 year before that, I barely was able to walk. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but as I was saying, I couldn't walk up the stairs pretty much. It was incredible results. And at that time, I realized the first thing, and that was, no matter how bad you are at anything, if you put in enough work, you can improve incredibly. And so I really went all in into running. I purchased some training plans. I worked with a coach. I even bought a power meter for running. And I was really diving deep into my running data. And I would almost say I took a scientific approach to running. So I started to race regularly, and I realized one more thing on top of the first one, and that was that my physical limitations were not the thing that were slowing me down. Whenever I slow down in a race or during a hard workout, it wasn't because I would die if I didn't. It was because it hurt so much that my brain didn't want to hurt anymore. So it slowed down. And that's when I realized that the limitations you have, not only in sports, in relationships, at work, but for this case, in sports, your limitations are the ones that you put on yourself. So it wasn't physical what was slowing me down. It was all mental. And fast forward to 2023, I finished my last marathon, but at the time, I wasn't liking running too much anymore. It was so repetitive, the training wasn't fun, and I was always fond of cycling. We had a bike with my wife. We were going on cycling trips. And we both love Tour de France, Pro Peloton, so we watch every July. And I was aware of Zwift. I watched some streams and I watched YouTube. So I thought that would be the perfect next step for me in my fitness journey. So I bought an indoor trainer, or actually my wife bought me an indoor trainer. And I started training and racing. And I started racing in D category. And I was being smoked by guys who were 30 or 40 years older than me. I am 35. So my hope that some of my fitness from running would transfer to cycling was basically totally false. But I started training. I did some of the Zwift training plans. I don't know if it was the Build Me Up or the FTP Builder, I don't know. And in about 2 months, I was promoted to C category. And I once again in my life had that realization that if you put in enough work, you can do basically whatever you want. So at the time, I set myself the next goal. And this time, it wasn't to run a marathon. It was to reach A racing category on Zwift, to join the very most elite group of riders on the platform. And because I firmly believe that the biggest limitations are the ones that you put on yourself, and that you can really improve if you put in the work. That's why I believe I can accomplish the task sooner or later. I don't know when. I just have a faith in myself that I can. And I thought it might be really fun to share that journey with general public. For some, it might have an entertaining value, but I secretly hope there is at least one person who will come across this channel and think, all right, this guy proved he can do it. If he wanted to, maybe I can too. And that would be the ultimate win for me if that happened. So that's why I created this channel, to really not only share my journey, my progression, but hopefully to motivate others as well, whether it is in cycling, at work, in relationships, whatever you want to do. If you put in enough effort, I believe it's possible. Obviously, there are some cases, sad cases, in which you cannot. If you are disabled, for example, no matter how much you want to, you will probably not get to A category. And that's really sad. But if you are a regular person, I believe you can. So, thank you to everyone who so far joined my channel, who subscribed, and who is watching my videos. I really appreciate when I see that you take the time from your busy lives and dedicate it to watching my videos. I'm really grateful for that. So, coffee's break over. Time to get to work. But actually, I wasn't going so slow, so I probably don't need to push very much. I need to remember these courses. Still 52k to go.
Right on!
I am hoping that my legs will stay strong until the end. Because basically, what I did last days was Friday, did the Big Flat 8 race. Saturday, I farmed the Tron bike. Sunday, I did the Castle Crit. Monday, farmed the Tron bike. Tuesday, farmed the Tron bike. And today, Wednesday, I'm doing this longest race of my life. So, hopefully nothing goes wrong. Also, as you can see on the graphic, I lost another kilogram of weight. So that should give me another climbing capabilities. So we got the featherweight for the power up. That I should probably use to get another power up here. Also, as you might have noticed, I started to do this elevation profile overlay. It was mainly a wish of my wife to see the profile of the course, but I thought it was a really good idea. So I will display the elevation profile at the start of the race and at some key points throughout the race. That might be actually helpful for you as a viewer. First drink after 20 minutes. As you can see throughout the race, I'm steering. I steer using the Zwift Play, and it's a really powerful way to make the race easier for you, because you can cut the corners and so on. As you can see right now, I cut the corner from the aqueduct down. Here again, and you can see like I'm pushing my position up in the group when I do that. It's really fun to use as well. I'm not a huge fan of the French map. I love Tour de France, but the France map is kind of boring, I guess. Let me know if you like it. Also, why do I have the settings to choose which way I should go? This is right. I shouldn't have that choice. It's probably some bug. This is a nice imagery. My god, another banner. Alright. So let's take the first salt pill of the day. I usually try to take one every half hour. That seems like the best practice for me. Also, my chart is somewhere. I don't know how that happened. Oh well. The youngsters are trying to drop me. If I learned anything during my time on Zwift so far, is that the age is just a number. I've seen some incredible performances from guys that were like 50, 60, even older. Even if you are more senior, you can still be incredibly fit. And as I was talking about marathons at the start, during my last marathon, there was this guy who passed me on the last kilometer. That guy was probably 80 years old. You can do incredible things if your mind is in the right place. This part of the race is like done for steering in the switchbacks. Take a look, like I am gaining position just by steering. I'm not riding faster. I'm just doing more efficient routes. I do not expect this race to be some brutal success for me, because I did a lot of riding in the last days, and in my last 2 races I basically went absolutely deep into the hurt locker, especially on Sunday during the Castle Crit. I was like, I was so done. I was breathing still hard after 15 minutes. But I don't want to, obviously, slack through this race either. So this is going to be the start of the Ven Top climb. I have done that many times. I usually do the Ven Top climb when I'm doing any workout. Well, I've done that in the past because I needed to farm the Tron bike. Hopefully, after today, I will be doing the workout whenever I please. Probably not here. So this is the Petite KOM, the first of the 2 big climbs of today. Oh, I didn't use the aero boost. That's not going to do anything on time. Oh well. Here is the flatter section, so I can use it here probably. And also there's another banner, I believe. Or is it not the Ventop climb? It is, right? I believe it is. I just realized that it's probably gonna get dark during the race and my curtains are closed. So hopefully the camera won't get too dark. My climbing has improved so much during the last few weeks. It's incredible. It's obviously nothing compared to what some guys can do, but compared to my abilities from like 6 weeks ago, it's completely different. My dog just got crazy in the other room. Oh yeah, this is the crossroads for the Ventop. Again, I forgot to drink. It will take some time for me to land this. Probably not worth screenshotting. My bottom is already protesting. Halfway point. This is what I was talking about when I was saying the French map is boring, in my opinion. It's just basically trees, houses, and the road. You know? Oh. My dog came to visit me, but I don't want to kick him, so. Did you hear that? My dog is talking in the background. My dog wants to go out for a walk. But it is still time. We have a dog date with his best friend today. So he'll have to wait. My shoe is too tight. I over tighten it, but there's no way for me to adjust it. The mechanism on my shoes is working in a way that I would need to loosen it up completely and then dial it back down. I can't imagine doing that in the middle of a race. Oh my god, another banner. Oh my god, my feet are getting numb. What did I do? What did I do? Another great thing about Zwift Play is you can do ride-ons very easily, activate the power-ups. I love this device. I've had my problems with it. It was often disconnecting, and a lot of people have this problem with it. It's still in beta. But then I found a solution to connect it through the Zwift Companion app, and it works flawlessly ever since. Actually, let's have another salt pill. There's the Mont Saint-Michel. Screenshot. Huh. The pace is getting faster. Nee. Miss Cutting. Need to be careful to not kick him. It's getting quite dark here. I don't know if you'll be able to see much on the camera. For some of you, that might be actually a good thing if you don't see my face. So there's that. But you don't see the dog either, and I cannot imagine any of you wouldn't want to see my dog. Also, I am very interested about you guys, your progression. Let me know in the comments. What category are you in? What is your goal? What times are you racing the races I do? I'm very interested about you as a community. I believe most of you will be actually better than me, statistically. But I'm getting better. I was actually wondering after the Castle Crit whether or not I would be promoted to B. I wasn't. But I really don't think I'm missing too much. We will see in the coming weeks. do I get? Feather! Nope. That wasn't the best power-up I could get before the KOM. Why do you guys use the featherweight right now? There's going to be the Petit KOM in a few moments. No. Oh my god, I started braking. I was trying to keep my dog from getting kicked, and I started braking with my Zwift play. I agree. This is a fantastic group. I don't know if the guy writing this is in my group. This is a really great ride, actually. There might be actually one more banner between now and the Petit KOM. So now that makes sense that the guys were using the featherweight for the switchbacks. Oh, I thought that would be something different. Okay, I guess vintage gloves are cool as well. It's still probably too soon for the other thing. Huh, there we go. That's the one I've been waiting for. Woo! I'm so glad I have that one. I was grinding. Yeah, my dog comes to celebrate as well. Yeah. I basically was grinding the start of the Epic KOM for the past month. If I wasn't racing, I was riding that small swing on the base of that hill like that. It was crazy. I'm so glad it is over. Yeah, there's the banner. I guess it's better than Aero Boost. That should be nice. Thumbnail. So there we go. Petit KOM number 2. I didn't make the last sprint, but never mind.